Theorizing that one could travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Becket stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Becket finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Oh, hi, I am Scotty R37. Antiderivative Jill is here, and Steve will be calculating the odds on how Ziggy gets us out of here. The Fantasmagorium show proudly presents In the Loop, a quantum leap celebration. This week, Sam has leapt into an 1980s divorcee with 3 children. The virgin will be kidnapped and not the one you think. And then he leaps into a high school football quarterback headed to the city championships. That is, if his best friend doesn't throw the game. Hey, Jill.
Hey, Scotty.
What's going on?
Not too much, just ready to talk about these episodes.
I am so happy we're talking about Quantum Leap because I have been in such a punchy mood, punchy and pinchy, ever since Tuesday. Getting older, feeling crotchety. I'm just sitting on my porch telling kids to get off my lawn, and I needed some Sam Becket in my life to make me feel better. I needed Al Calavicci to sing Inchworm to make me feel more like a human with a heart.
And even better, even though these episodes are still drama, the writing is getting better, and I'm enjoying it more because we get to see more of Al.
Yes.
In these episodes.
Well, and we do get a little bit of who can see Al and what the perception is of people who are or the people who surround Sam when he is inhabiting someone else.
Correct. Yes, we do find that.
Until now, it's been dogs. Dogs can see Al.
Animals.
Dogs can tell.
Animals in general.
Animals in general. Sorry, I'm a caninist.
Because you have one.
Because I do. And so does the mom in the first episode, another mother.
Yes,
named
the mom,
Wookie.
Linda.
Is it Linda? I did not get any of the names.
The mother is named Linda.
Okay. The dog is named
but
Wookie.
You didn't get any of the names except for the most important one.
Wookie.
Yes.
And Kevin?
And Kevin? Yeah, Kevin is the son's name, correct.
Okay. Well,
the daughter's name is Susan, and the toddler is Teresa.
Yes. Okay. See, thank you so much. I do want to give a shout out to the folks in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, Lemon Pie.
Hey, Lemon Pie.
And Edge of Time. What's going on? Ahoy. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you being here. And, welcome to the science fiction show that has very little science fiction, except for the fact that the guy travels through time into the past to inhabit someone, take over, really, possess.
To put right what once went wrong.
That is true. That is what he's doing. And oh my, what a dark thing he saved someone from this week.
Yes, in both cases, actually, but more this one.
Well, and it was an indirect, but we'll get to the second episode when we get to the second episode.
Right.
First one is breakneck.
Yes.
I was surprised.
The threat in this one is direct, and the second one is a threat.
Yes. Well, and for the mom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And also, this is the first time, and I went and I leapt ahead, which I know is against the rules, but I went to I went to go take a look and see if we end up in the 80s at all throughout the rest of the season.
Well, this is the first time.
This is the first time in 2 seasons we've been in the 80s.
Yes, and I think the episode, since it's only 9 years off of the actual time, not 1981, it does a really good job of portraying it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, and it kind of has an ET vibe to it, even though it's in Scottsdale,
well,
Arizona.
The very last scene with Al and the little girl, yeah, absolutely does.
I just thought like the suburb that they live in seemed very much like the suburb that the kids in ET live in.
Yes.
And I guess it does take place in 1981 as well.
It's just not Halloween.
No, but there is a Wookiee.
Yes.
So shall we get to the episode?
Sure. Another Mother first aired on January 10th, 1990.
Don't worry.
This episode is significant because it's the first episode that I've noticed that has a novelized sequel called Angels Unaware. And so you know how Al promises to see the little girl again later?
I was wondering.
Yeah, so if you want to see that fulfilled, you have to read Angels Unaware. And this episode was written by series co-creator and producer Deborah Pratt and directed by Joseph L. Scanlon, who also directed 4 episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Really?
For season 1 of Next Generation, Joseph Scanlon directed The Big Goodbye and Skin of Evil.
Ooh.
For season 2, he directed Contagion and Time Squared. So
wow. Those are good ones, too, from not necessarily stellar seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes. Yeah, Time Squared is pretty great. Sam leaps on September 30th, 1981, and into the place of Linda Bruckner, who lives in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah. That's my town.
Yeah, it is all for you.
Well, let's not go crazy. Hey, Sci-Fi Nation is here. Ahoy, sir.
Hello to Sci-Fi Nation. This is the first episode with the introduction at the beginning instead of the flashbacks that we had before with the unique dialogue from Sam Becket. But this introduction is narrated by Lance Legault, who was in the season 1 episode How the Test Was Won. In the next episode,
who was he in How the Test Was Won?
Oh, I didn't get that part.
Okay, no, fair enough. Because if it was the guy that Tess ended up actually, never mind. I'll take a look.
Oh, right. Yeah, take a look.
I'll take a look.
It's in the book. In the next episode, we will hear Deborah Pratt narrate it, and that will continue until the end of the series.
And in this episode, and I noticed, I don't know what she looks like. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
No, you're good. But it's interesting, and because, sometimes I do pay attention to these episodes when I'm watching, guys. One of the actresses, as credited in the opening of the episode, is Troian Belisario. You'll notice that Troian there was a portrait for Troian 2 episodes ago in the not haunted house because of the D-bag who was trying to get his sister to kill herself, or unalive herself. I don't know. Am I allowed to say it this early in the video? Well, it's too late now. Can't edit it out. Well, I'm sure we can on the rerun. But yeah, so Troian is a title character in that episode, and Belisario, this series was created and written by Donald P. Belisario for several episodes, and so I'm assuming Troian Belisario is a relation.
Yeah, she is. She's a daughter. Remember that episode with the creepy tomb and the big house?
The D-bag brother who was trying to fake his sister into offing herself.
Yeah, well, yeah, they named the character Troian
right
after their daughter, and who
does Troian play?
Well, she plays in this episode. She plays Teresa.
Oh, that's Troian. Okay.
In last episode, it was just some actor who was given her name.
Right. And Sci-Fi Nation, no, we're on season 2. We've been taking care of these 2 at a time so that we can enjoy the journey. But yeah, no, we're on season 2, episode. Oh heavens,
13.
13. Yes.
So Sam, what did you say so far? What did I miss?
Oh, I was just going over Troyan
Okay.
and the relation to Donald P.
Right. So Sam leaps into a mother named Linda, and her 2 older kids are fighting.
Yes.
Yes. There's Linda. They're fighting over a shirt. They're going to tear it. And little girl's upset about a doll. Dog, after murdering the doll, the dog named Wookie spills the breakfast and breaks a plate. And do you see here how Sam flinches in horror? I don't even flinch like that anymore when it happens. It's just, oh, look, a spill happened. I get the paper towels.
Well, but this is Sam's.
I know, but this is his first time. He's frazzled by the whole experience. It makes sense that he's taking it this way.
So these are the interesting things that happen when you do some of the research when you're live. Guess when this episode aired?
Well, this episode aired in 1990, January 10th, on your birthday.
I know, that's crazy. The birthday week continues. I didn't even plan this.
I didn't either. No.
That's crazy. This aired on my 12th birthday.
Neat. So the beginning does a pretty good job of giving you what it feels like to be a mother. And so, but
yes. Well, and also I did want to give a little bit of a shout out to the actor who plays Kevin. Yes. And that is Michael Stoyanov, who plays Kevin Bruckner, and he is best known as being on Blossom as Anthony Russo, Mayim Bialik's brother.
Oh, great. And Troyan Bellisario, as you said, the daughter of the creators of the series, Deborah and Donald. There's mother. And the youngest daughter is played by Troyan Bellisario, and she's Teresa.
She is Teresa. That was an interesting thing that I just did.
What did you just do?
I just checked out. I clicked on Troyan Bellisario's IMDb. Mm-hmm. It is very different than how she looks here.
Oh, well, I imagine because she's grown up and she actually she actually acted in stuff after this.
Yes.
And so the thing is, Dean Stockwell warned Deborah Pratt on set that she should let her be a little girl and not force her into acting. So when she grew up, Troyan decided to begin an acting career and is known for her role in Pretty Little Liars.
I've never seen Pretty Little Liars, but going by the image of Troyan Bellisario, she's grown up to be quite an attractive lady.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Also, she can see Sam as he really is and says that he's a man and doesn't see him as her mom like the older kids and everybody else does. We know this about animals, but this is the first time that younger children are said to have this ability too. And
what does Ziggy say? Ziggy says that they're in, there's something about their innocence.
Yes. So not only can Teresa see Sam, but also Al. Sam keeps trying to push the parenting on Susan, but at least this time she refuses. But it's also really nice that Sam is about I don't know what I was trying to say there. No. Well, anyway.
I do like
okay, I see. The kids are telling Sam his responsibilities. My kids never tell me my responsibilities. They say, "Oh, you got to go get my soccer uniform and get my friends to go to Girl Scouts or
meet.
whatever.
Yeah.
Swim meet and everything. No, they never do that. I have to remember to do those things. Otherwise, nothing happens. But that's useful for Sam.
Well, and it's revealed by
Mhm.
Kevin Bruckner that that Linda is recently divorced and how it was really, really hard on her, and that's why she's a little scattered. And it seems like it would be relatively recent.
Yes.
So the whole family is pulling together. It's actually quite a healthy family.
That's right. Yeah, he's very understanding about it.
Yes.
And what I feel super weird about him, Michael Stroyanov, was actually in the episode of Animal Frat, and he was uncredited, so we don't know what his name was in that episode. Or if he's a time traveler too. No, probably not.
Maybe he's in. Well, we haven't even gotten to the evil leapers yet. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he references Star Wars, so we got Wookiee the dog, and also he does a Yoda voice. Oh,
does he
and
do
here,
a Yoda voice? I didn't know if he had done a Yoda voice. I thought it was more of a like a kung fu kind of thing because it's like warrior must walk alone. Maybe it was a Yoda voice.
that's what I picked up from it, but you could be right.
I'm not sure. I'll go. Well, let's go with the Yoda voice.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but yeah, and also here he's doing a Twilight Zone little riff.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, like you said earlier, Al reports that children under 5 can view Sam and Al because they're in an alpha state.
That's awesome. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too. They come to the conclusion that I did, which is to tell you the truth. And
yes.
Sam says that Teresa needs to pretend that he's her mommy to help Kevin win the swim meet. But of course, leaps don't happen for those kind of trivialities.
No, they're to win football games.
Well, see, but it wasn't. There was something extensive beyond that. Like when Sam is a boxer, it's not just to win the fight; it's to get the nun her church or whatever. And so the football team is not just for the football game.
I understand. I was being facetious. I apologize for being sarcastic in the face of the innocence that is Quantum Leap.
Oh no, you should be sarcastic. I'm okay with it.
And once again, we have the outfit of the week.
It's
that
yucky.
Is incredible. Oh, it is yucky according to Teresa, but St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and that thing is bitching. And then they demonstrate you can't touch because Al says that they're angels. So they're kind of telling the truth, kind of not.
Kind of, because there is a higher power controlling the leaps, ostensibly. So they kind of are angels.
Well, it's still a supposition. They still don't know for sure that they are being bounced around time by God.
Yes, they are just guessing.
They are just saying it must be happening for a reason, and we will as the show goes on, we do discover that reason may not be as external as thought.
Yes, and Al reveals that the real reason that they are there to save Kevin, who runs away from home and disappears forever. They can't find the body, leaving behind. There was only an old van and bloody. He leaves behind his bicycle, bloody clothing.
Yes.
So that's this episode.
And Linda never lets the case be closed. So I would assume that after losing a husband and a son within the same year or so, that would be rather devastating.
Yeah, no, I don't think any mother would let that case be closed.
No.
So Sam talks with Al with the job. He talks him into following Kevin around.
Yes,
and then we get the first shot of the creepy van.
Creepy van. This is our antagonist for the episode. Just almost like the shark from Jaws. It just keeps showing up, and it's like, oh, this van is no good. I'm sorry. It's funny It's funny to see Linda and then see Sam be like, really? He looks good.
Yeah, he does.
He's doing his best. It's nice. It's a nice outfit.
They do a really good job in the clothing department of this show. They do make sure to pick clothing that are female clothing, but look good on Scott Bakula.
Well, and also it is somewhat, with the sort of ruffles and the cuffs and the dress and everything like there, the skirt. It is era appropriate as well.
It's good to know. So last time we saw Sam leap into a woman, he was nonplussed about it. He didn't know what to do. But in this time, he is very natural in it. It's not even an issue. He does it, I think, way better this time.
Well, and I think it's more to do with his responsibilities as a mother.
Yes.
There are a lot of modern things that I could talk about this movie or this show through the prism of modern sensibilities. I choose not to.
Well, that's good because we're in 1990 right now.
Well, no, we're in 1981. Actually.
Well, we're in 1981 in the episode, but the writing is 1990.
Yes, and it is about being, empathetic and traveling through time to make right what once went wrong, and it's not necessarily about whether or not did Sam actually give birth to those babies?
No, he didn't.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Linda was.
Linda did it.
So then it cuts to high school where the boys are watching the girls and joking around and specifically teasing Kevin about it, and he defends Jackie's honor. Because he's friends with her and she's his neighbor.
Yes, but they become friendly. Kevin doesn't want to play this game because they're all assigning points to.
It's kind of weird. I never played. They call it Demons and Dragons, but I never played Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't know about this kind of like external extracurricular gameplay that they're doing here.
I think they're applying a point structure to conquests, and they are they're LARPing. They're role playing. They're
LARPing.
Yeah, they're pretending to because they call Kevin a jester and one's a squire, and they're doing this whole thing. They're all supposed to be friends and they're goofing around, but obviously Kevin is the funny one who they kind of pick on, and they want him to do something to prove himself to the rest of the the guild.
Yeah, to earn being a wizard or something.
Yes.
Yeah, the guild. Oh my God. I only played World of Warcraft, so that's my only reference.
I don't listen to hip hop.
So Sam is. I'll tell Sam he needs to coach Kevin on relationships. That's interesting. Then, Teresa. I forget what she says, Teresa. She says something funny.
Yes, precocious.
What's secular underclass?
Oh, yes. Well, because obviously Al goes to the conclusion that maybe you're there to help.
Yeah, to help Kevin learn about that stuff.
Yes, the birds and the bees, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
But definitely these episodes are getting better, more well written, and I'm enjoying them more now. At least these two.
Well, and we are looking down the barrel of it just going up in terms of the IMDb ratings, if they're worth anything.
Yeah, they are.
And so, yeah. Scottsdale, 62 miles. Obviously, the weirdos are on their way. And is this? Yeah. So we picked up the kids from school. Oh, and they went out for dinner because Sam burnt the roast.
Right. Even though when you burn something that badly, your entire house is smoking too, not just the roast.
No, I've done something similar to that, and
you have.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's not as bad if you've absolutely effed up, then yes, because he probably didn't put any marinade, he didn't cover the roast. There's not whatever it was supposed to be. It's basically just it wouldn't like burst into flame or anything. I don't even think it would smoke. It would just char.
It just seems like it'd be really difficult to burn a roast like that.
Nope, not that hard, Jill.
Okay. So Susan is worried that listening to her mom will make her miss Magnum PI. So we learn that she really likes that show.
Yes, but also a Donald P. Belisario show.
Right. Did he write it?
He co-created it. He created it.
Great.
There was actually, and I was watching something about it, and this is interesting that Magnum PI shows up in Quantum Leap this early, because there was actually a possible crossover between Quantum Leap and Magnum PI. They did film something similar to Sam leaping into the opening credits of Magnum PI in another season, like in I think season 3.
Oh, so they were almost going to have a crossover episode, but they didn't.
Right. They
that
never.
Would be pretty good, probably. I've never seen Magnum PI, but that sounds fun.
I enjoy. We should talk all about it next week on our new podcast, the Magnum PI program.
No.
Okay.
But then Sam initiates a ping pong game with Kevin to figure out what's going on with him. And Sam scores a score, impressing Kevin, but he still won't talk to his mom about girls.
Yes, which is understandable.
Yes. Oh, no, did I not? Oh, there it is. Yes, I got it. Okay.
Right.
You want a picture of my life? Here it is.
You did say you were thankful that you didn't have a dog.
Yes, I am. I'm glad I don't have a dog, but the paint. The
paint everywhere? Yes.
We finally...
Go ahead.
Well, that's it.
Well, and we see Teresa get covered in the paint, and there's a school bus, but that's even creepier. It's being followed by the windowless van.
And we finally get to see the occupants of this creepy van as it stalks the school bus. You likened it to Jaws, so we finally get to see Jaws.
Yeah, we get to see the sharks. Ugh. I don't even know what those guys are about. And there is no character. They have no lines.
No, but they're creepy and they look terrible. So that they do their job.
Yes, they are excellent villains. So, with Jackie and the rest of the guild, they try and convince Jackie to... Do they ask her to...
They don't... Well, we don't get to find out their plan until it actually happens.
Right. But there is something afoot.
Yes, and she's given the opportunity to be crowned queen of the Mardi Gras dance if she does this thing for them. And she plays along with their D&D game or whatever this is. And Susan is watching Magnum PI because...
he's sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive to the needs of a woman.
That's
but
right.
Being only 11, of course, she cannot really give her brother any advice.
So that's Higgins, and the two Dobermans are named Zeus and Apollo.
Oh, did you ever watch this show?
Yes. I wasn't joking when I said if you wanted to watch Magnum PI.
Well,
no.
Well, you're always joking about podcasts.
No, I know, but I have this TV show. I have the box set. I love Magnum PI.
It's good. So
it takes place in Hawaii. It's exotic and it's adventures. Anyway, we can talk about it next week.
Well, tell me about it some other time.
Okay, sounds good.
And they have an argument. They're really rude to each other the whole episode. They argue and she goes to a friend's house.
Yes. Well, and also because Kevin thinks that Tom Selleck is a wimp who giggles like a girl, and it sounds like he's inhaling helium, which I thought was also very entertaining because it's just like jabs at the other show that that Donald P. did create, and so it's like, wow. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's... I guess there's no such thing as negative press, bad advertising. No such. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like The Simpsons when they would make fun of Fox,
right,
all the time.
So Kevin says that Susan's gone next door to watch TV, and he's headed out to go to see the guys because they're going to go see Raiders again.
Yes, and
tonight is the night.
He needs to see the boulder get through the cave.
Exactly.
But that's not really what he's going to do. But Sam knows that he's going to, what's going to happen. So he makes him stay home. So what does he do? He sneaks out of the window.
Well, not before.
Not before what?
Not before Teresa asks for
cold.
He is cold. She just had a bath, and as you mentioned, it's difficult to bathe a child, and so now she's cold.
Yes.
She's got to go to bed, and she wants to have sing a song before she goes to bed. And so Al does sing her a song, but
I missed that.
while that's happening, because Sam says he doesn't know any songs, Al starts singing Inchworm.
Mhm.
And
There it is.
Sam goes to check on Kevin, turn off the stereo, and it seems that he has escaped through his window. And yes, little Troyan playing Teresa is adorable and does the stereotypical fold your hands under your cheek.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah, Al sings her a mathematics song.
Yes. Great. And then, so Kevin's gone over to Jackie's place with an effort to, I guess, go steady, hang out, possibly collect 50 points.
Well, but she just wants to be queen, I guess. I don't know.
Well, she wants to be queen, but it's very, like, this is interesting to me, Jill.
Is it?
A little bit, because like this is awkward, and I remember losing my virginity, and if the lady who, and I didn't lose it, I know where it is, but if that lady had said to me, go sit over there and take off your clothes, I'm sorry, that is awkward. That is too much. I would not even remotely be able to be smooth.
Especially since they're actually friends.
Yeah. Oh, and wait, hang on a second. So I forgot to say that the episode starts with the song "Call Me" by Blondie. At school, the song "Shake It Up" by the Cars plays. This one is playing now is "Give Me the Night" by George Benson.
And none of those songs play if you're listening to this on streaming services, because instead they put in elevator music.
And I have the physical media, and I get all the music. I get all the songs. Yes. So once again,
Scott wins.
Well, no, it's not a matter of winning, but it's just a matter, and it's not an expensive
I want to hear
thing.
these music.
And my box set is just the DVD collection by Mill Creek Entertainment. Mm-hmm. And it is available on Blu-ray as well, if you're so interested. Support physical media.
Blu-ray. Sounds good. I want to get Blu-ray.
So, anyway, Kevin, go over there and take off your pants. And Jackie says, or Kevin says, he doesn't know what to do. And so Jackie says, are you a virgin?
Because he's 15, so of course he is.
Yes. Yes, I was 17 when I lost my virginity. So good for you, Kev, for almost getting there. Anyway, so Jackie asks and says, are you a virgin? And he says, yes, yes, yes. And so it seems that the rest of the guild is hiding in the closet, and they think it's hilarious.
They're disgusting.
Oh, wow. And really?
Jackie looks a little guilty about it. Yes, of course they are. It's not even. I don't understand how this helps with the D&D game. Really, I don't. It's just a stupid prank.
It is a stupid prank, but I am familiar with a lot of things that high school boys would do to one another, and I just mean
is this realistic?
No, I wouldn't say it's necessarily like hiding in a closet to humiliate friends for that. No. But there definitely humiliation was part of the formative years of any adolescent male. Mm-hmm. Or at least it was when I was growing up. I don't know how the kids today do it.
I don't either.
So, but yeah, so Kevin is mortified. He's embarrassed. Yes. So he gets outside and he jumps on his bike and he starts going, and then the windowless van starts following, at which point I think it's around now that Sam discovers that Sam's over at Jackie's place, or Sam goes over to Jackie's place to find Kevin, and the kids are there,
Yes, and for some reason, Al disappears in a sprinkle of fairy dust here.
Yeah, it's a weird transporter effect as opposed to the door that is usually used.
Yeah, I didn't remember that ever happening before.
Now, but this is, and I don't remember it happening before too, and I kind of noticed it as being something that was new, but there have been times, because when the door to the waiting room opens or the imaging chamber or whatever the door goes to, I forget, there's a definite sound, like there's a zoop whenever he comes in through the door, but there have been times that Al just shows up behind Sam and it's just like, he's there. So I'm wondering if it is a possibility that it has always been on off screen, but now that we're in the second season, we have a little bit more special effects. Like this is an effects heavy episode. You get the hologram passing through with Teresa and Al.
Yes.
And then you get, the transporter. I don't think it's fairy dust. I don't think that's fair.
It feels like fairy dust. Okay. Fortunately, it looks like fairy dust.
It does look like fairy dust. No argument.
Fortunately, though, Ziggy finds a van that has Kevin, so Sam is able to catch up with it and drive it off the road.
Yes. And it's really like, guys, it's creepy. Like there is look at this. Oh my God. So this van is booking it down the highway and this guy's coming towards you while you got duct tape on your mouth and around your wrists. This is not it. I would rather watch Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
But with some stunt driving between a windowless van. This is pretty cool. But yeah, runs the van off the road, and then Linda, a lot of reveal shots of actual host as opposed to Sam. But Linda gets out of the car, and the creeper in the driver's seat looks back and is like, "This will be easy."
Yeah, he thinks he has to deal with Linda. He doesn't know it is Sam. And they did a really good job making these guys very creepy.
And you know, for the longest time I was watching this, remember the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Wesley does the culvert starburst?
Yes.
And I thought that the driver of the van for like half the episode, I was like, is that the dad of the cadet who died in that episode? Luckily it wasn't, so that episode is no longer ruined.
Oh, well, that episode was already ruined because Wesley.
Oh, no, but it was good because it had a whole ethics about being a Starfleet officer that I really enjoyed in that episode from Picard.
Yeah, but Wesley lies and the cadet knows.
But don't you like seeing Wesley get in trouble when he's being a prick?
Yeah, I guess.
Like you got it.
I didn't like that.
I enjoyed the episode. And especially, hey, that's the first Robert Duncan McNeil in the in Star Trek. It's Locarno. Anyway, we're watching Quantum Leap. I apologize. We can talk all about Locarno and Ensign or Tom Paris whenever.
Mm-hmm. Well, we should.
But yeah. Now, this is also an interesting thing as well because the creepy guy who was going to crawl into the back of the van grabs Sam from behind, and then not the guy from Star Trek Next Generation starts to attack and rips open her blouse, which means in actual factual, this is sexual assault.
It is. Well, they were already on their way of doing that. Probably.
Absolutely. Matt G is here. And thank you so much, Matt G. 2 bones. I appreciate it.
Hello, Matt G.
And
also, Sam was not wearing a bra, so.
Well, that's true too. I was looking, but I didn't notice at the time. Like you caught I didn't catch this particular screenshot because I was curious about it. But because the rest of the time he's very modest and he's covering up. But yeah, Sci-Fi Nation. He was on a mission from Gad. Just ask the Blues Brothers. But yeah, no, Kung Fu, Taekwondo. That's how you say it. And yeah, kicks the crap out of the sexual predators.
Judo also, and karate.
Yep. Oh yeah, and you know, one of the most ridiculous things that Al has ever said, helping Sam. It's like, Sammy's got a knife. It might be sharp. And it's like, yeah, thank you very much.
That might be the worst dialogue in the whole episode.
That's the only one that really bothered me because I was like, well, it's not a butter knife. Anyway, Kevin is rescued by his mom, which is nice and touching.
Yes. And he doesn't understand how she took both of them out. So Sam says, Girl Scouts.
Yes. And he's like, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for making it so that that guy didn't do that stuff that he was planning. That would have been bad.
Yeah, would have. Well, he would have been.
Well, and I have jokes, but they're not funny.
No, they're not.
No, but I'm not going to say them. Don't worry.
Of course not. No.
No.
This episode is very accurate in its portrayal of what it's like to be a mother, and also the worst fear that a mother has, which is kidnapping.
Well, absolutely. And this is one of those things that like in like circa 1990, this was almost not almost, but this was an era where sort of kidnappings and abductions were more widespread, I suppose, or newer to the modern era. I remember, like this was an era when my parents would give me like code words to get picked up by family members and stuff, and it's like if they didn't say the right thing back, then you didn't get in the car with them, and don't talk to strangers and all that jazz.
Yes, I got the don't talk to strangers, but I didn't have to do any code word stuff.
Oh, we did code words because my dad knew that I would like it because it would be a game. I was like, if they don't say this, you don't get to do that. PvP says, hey, Jill, Scotty, and chat. PvP says, wow, Scotty has locked emojis now. Oh yeah, if you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome to. Thanks, PvP. You don't have to, but if you wish to, thank you. And so this is the morning after. I was kind of disappointed because I figured that Kevin would be able to stay home from school the day after being kidnapped, but nope.
Right. No, he's going to go.
He's going to school, which is good.
Well, yeah, it is good. Well, that he's not as too traumatized to go to school.
Right.
So Sam gives Kevin advice that he doesn't just have to have sex because of peer pressure or that he's getting older and that it should only happen because of love.
Yes. When two people really, and this is also a very sort of, I got to praise the performances because like there is a moment where Kevin gets up and he goes away and then he comes back and he hugs Sam. And it's just like, it's a very mother-son kind of situation that I enjoy. And also one of the attention to detail things with the costuming, as you were mentioning before, the ladies' watch. I thought that was a nice touch that they actually fitted him with a ladies' watch.
And there it is. Yes. And
PvP says, I am subscribed, Scotty. I think you mean join. Yes, I don't know the vernacular of what this YouTube thing is. I just show up with a microphone and yeah. But thank you. Yes, it is. We do have you can subscribe or join the channel. And there are emojis available in the chat. But Kevin goes to high school dressed like Marty McFly in a neon belt. And he is walking with Jackie, and the rest of the guild starts spreading it around because it was one of the fears that Kevin had was that they were going to say that he was Virgin Boy. And so they start calling him.
Yeah, it's a bunch of virgins picking on someone for being a virgin.
Yeah, well, yes. And so then Jackie is like, yeah, right. And then starts smooching in the middle of the cafeteria. And everyone is like, Kevin. Because kissing girls is great.
Right. Jackie apologizes and asks Kevin out to the Mardi Gras dance. And now he's a wizard or something.
Now he's a wizard, yes. But there is only one more thing. And so
it turns out that Ziggy is the ultimate preschool.
Oh, yeah, I really like this. And even Sam's surprised.
Yeah, Al is teaching Teresa about dinosaurs. She knows her dinosaurs.
I got 2 of them wrong. They only show 3, and I got 2 of them wrong.
I only didn't know the last one.
No, I got the Stegosaurus wrong.
You got the Stegosaurus wrong. Oh my goodness!
It's been a long time since I paid attention to dinosaurs.
But that was my favorite dinosaur when I was a kid.
I always like Triceratops for some reason.
Yeah, they're all right.
Oh, thanks.
The 3-horn. And of course, she gets these right. Sam thinks she's too young, but of course, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and even the Dilophosaurus.
Right.
Is that the last one?
Yes, Diplodocus.
Oh, okay, yes.
But
See?
that's that was of course the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Stegosaurus,
and the Diplodocus.
Diplodocus.
That's the one. Oh, it's got a duck bill. It looks like a big duck. I haven't
There's
watched
your
Jurassic
ET
Park in a
moment
while.
that you were talking.
This is the ET moment, and this is a moment that does make me, every now and then we get to once every couple of episodes, Al does something that just makes me choke up. And when Al is explaining to Teresa that your mom's coming back now, and it's like, are you gonna go? Yep. I don't want you to go. I have to. But I'll be back. I don't know when, but I'll be back. And now I have to go and watch Angels Unaware.
Yeah, well,
Or
you can't
read.
watch it. You have to read it. It's a
Maybe
novel.
there's an audio book.
Maybe.
But I'll try and get the book. I'm gonna see. Let me see if it's on. I'm gonna see.
Okay. Well, my only problem with this episode were the kidnappers. We didn't get to see them caught or apprehended, but otherwise, I thought it was a pretty good episode. I liked it.
I thought so too. And again, this is one of those. It made me happy to see Sam again this week. Like I really needed a couple of episodes of Quantum Leap, and this is just, again, it's a good drama. There's an inkling of science fiction in this. Nothing really associated with the time in which they arrive. There is no correlation except for the pop culture references, I guess.
Yeah, when we learn a little more about Al, he's kind of having second thoughts about he said at one point he says, "I never thought I wanted to be a father," and so now he might be thinking about that.
Yes, we'll be getting into much more of Al's backstory as the season goes on, especially the season finale. And I forgot to mention that she's so shy, or he is so shy by the Pointer Sisters is the last song in the cafeteria.
Also, elevator music for me.
Yep. No, I get pop music, Jill. So.
I will rectify this issue.
And so Al basically says goodbye, and Sam leaps.
Yeah, I just get some kind of techno rock song.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so Sam leaps into the quarterback. I was curious because they hike him the ball, but he doesn't say hike, but he does say, oh boy. And I guess if you were going to hike him the ball, then oh boy would count.
Sure.
PvP says, I liked Brontosaurus. I had a cool picture book of dinos as a kid. I loved it so much. I read it until it fell apart. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I was ever that much into the dinosaurs as a kid. Like I liked one. I liked the Triceratops, and that was about it. PvP says a budding argument over music. Sounds like fun. It's not really an argument. It's just the differences in the copies that we've watched.
Well, it became a thing because of Jurassic Park. For all the 90s kids were suddenly obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yes. And living in Southern Ontario, I had, because I'm a contrarian, as everybody knows. I was somewhat frustrated with Jurassic Park because the only reason that the Toronto Raptors are called the Toronto Raptors is because that NFL or NBA, sorry, I just saw Sam in a football helmet. In the NBA franchise, what do you want to name them? And so because everyone was coming off of the success of Jurassic Park, the Toronto Raptors were named the Raptors because of dinosaurs and Jurassic Park. So
and you had a problem with that?
It bothered me.
I love raptors. They're so cool.
Well, they're like, yes, that's super. I don't know why it upset me.
Were you upset because dinosaurs are extinct?
No, it wasn't even that. I don't know why.
I don't understand why you're angry.
Neither do I. Well, I don't either. And so it's just kind of funny that when I found out that they're going to call them the Raptors, I kind of rolled my eyes. There was just something about it. It's like,
But I
it
love
was,
that scene with the raptor and the kids and everything.
oh, it's a great movie. I'm not arguing that. I like the
Mm.
first two Jurassic Parks.
I just need the first one. I'm good.
And Pleasant Valley Picker says, I meant 1, 2, 3, 4. Ramones, anyone? It's a possibility. Pleasant Valley Picker says, love the Ramones' first album. It has great non-stop energy. Yeah. Oh, being the Ramones do rule, no argument. There are no Ramones songs in Another Mother or in All Americans, but they are an amazing band.
They are. There is an Orville. There is a Ramones song in the Orville. When the goo, what's his name? The
Yaphet?
Yaphet. Yeah, when Yaphet is he sings to the doctor one of the songs.
Does he sing a
I want to
Ramones
be
song?
Yeah, he sings I want to be your boyfriend.
Oh, nice. PvP says, although their third one, Rocket to Russia, is my favorite. I am not familiar with all of the... Jill, are you a Ramones fan through and through?
Through and through. Well, I love the Ramones. I don't know them
So
by album, but because
No.
when I was a kid, obviously, the Ramones were already broken up and everything. So when I bought a Ramones album, it was like a compilation. Here's like 50 songs that they did. And I was like, all right, I'll listen to this.
That does make sense because Ramones songs are relatively short. So you could get 50 onto an album.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. That's the great part of punk rock is you love, whether you love the song or not, it by the time you get sick of it, it's already over.
True. But you don't get sick of the Ramones.
No, and if you don't, then you can replay it. I know, me neither.
I'm just going to top up my tea. I'll be back in a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Pleasant Valley Picker continues. The Ramones never got the fame and fortune they deserved while they were alive. Well, I don't know too much about their actual history. I do know they were part of the... was it the Velvet Underground? I don't want to speak incorrectly about their history, but I do like their music. Obviously, I love punk rock, and they are the poster child for it, as are the Clash. And Pleasant Valley Picker continues, I actually had a chance to see them on their last tour, and I didn't go. I still regret it. Wow. That's too bad. Sorry you didn't go either. That would be really spectacular to see. And so I thought, okay, and then Pleasant Valley Picker says, I think all the original members are deceased. I don't know about that, but I know some of them are.
They're never really gone so long as we remember them.
Of course, and sing their songs.
True. Oh, that's cool that PvP got to see them.
Yes, and I thought this was a really lovely, well-performed episode of Quantum Leap. Even though, like we said, it didn't have too much sci-fi. It had plenty of pop culture references that kept me interested, and the way it was paced and the way it looked, everything was better about it. All the things I was complaining about before that are still here are just better now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And again, the building of the relationship and sort of delving into like Al's affinity towards Sam, and like the team of these guys taking care of stuff across time is just making me so happy. And you're right, the writing is getting better.
They made a great parenting team.
Yes, they did make a good parenting team. It's true. And I thought about that. They were having a little bit of a bicker in the kitchen, and I was like, oh my God, they're like a married couple.
They are. They did great. And like we say all the time, that some of the leapy kind of sticks with Sam during the leap, and so some of that might have been there to make him more nurturing. And he does get better as a mother throughout as the episode goes on.
He does. But he starts off his maternal instincts by sort of relating to Kevin through his own experiences as being an adolescent, and saying that he was just too smart, didn't get along, he was awkward, and he's assuming that Kevin was using humor to cover up his emotions. And so I liked it. I liked it. He was the empathetic one.
Yes.
And PvP says, I need to start watching Quantum. I'm hoping Leap.
Yeah. Well, you could just start with the episodes we're on now.
Yeah, totally.
Just watch along with us.
And PvP, this is the first time I've seen them in order. So this is a new adventure for me. And then PvP says, I found an online source and need to watch some. The only thing that I would be wary of is you're going to have different soundtrack. But, it's not going to take away from the enjoyment of seeing Sam and Al. Or will it, Jill?
It does infuriate me that I didn't get to hear these really cool songs, but yes, we still do get Sam and Al's performance, and they're fantastic.
And PvP says, hey, is this still season 1? No, this is season 2, episode 13, and we're just going into 14. If that is cool, sir. Thank you so much, PvP.
Then we have our next episode.
Yes, there we are. It's funny. You always get when he's leaping in, and I appreciate that you get that he's leaping in, but I'm always like, and Sam was struck by lightning.
So All Americans first aired on January 17th, 1990. This one was written by series creator Donald P. Belisario and Paul Brown, who also wrote for The New Twilight Zone, The X-Files, and also Star Trek, Voyager, Child's Play, and Enterprise's Rajan.
Oh, wow.
So that's what these two episodes that I liked had in common. They both had Star Trek writers. Sorry.
Writers, yes.
Writers for Star Trek. So they just need to keep doing that. Sam leaps. Oh, yeah.
But it's so weird that they're not even we have Star Trek writers that this is
that are not writing science fiction.
Yeah, this isn't, but it is a science fiction show, but it's not a science fiction show.
But at least it doesn't forget the science. Like we did have a little bit of it with the little girl being able to see everything.
Yes. This one is strictly a dramatic.
Yes.
Oh, except for one throwaway line, which is actually quite prescient.
Well, Sam leaps on into November 6, 1962, and into the place of Eddie Vega, who lives in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, California. And this is the first episode where Sam says, oh boy, at the beginning of the episode.
Right. A lot of things are starting to come into place because we did get we got the narration last episode. We get the narration this episode. And as you mentioned, it's Deborah Pratt and doing the traditional narration, although they do change up the opening montage of the credits, but still. Yes,
they do. And for this episode, we have football. I don't know very much about football. I just know when someone scores a touchdown because that's when I played the fight song on my saxophone in high school.
I didn't know you could play the saxophone.
I used to be able to play the alto saxophone. I don't know if I'm so good at it now. But football games were just good for one thing for me while I was there was nachos. And, okay.
I'm trying to, we didn't, and I guess, high school football in general in the United States is a much, much bigger cultural
it is, especially
cornerstone.
Texas.
Especially Texas, no argument. And my high school had a football team, and I had friends who were on the football team, but it certainly wasn't the huge event that I would assume that it is in the United States.
Yes, for half of my time and the band, it was football season. And then when football season was finally over, it was my favorite part of the school year, which was concert season. I liked doing concerts better than I liked marching around.
So this is interesting. And PvP, I have a couple of your chats that I've sort of put so we can discuss them in a little bit more detail at the end of the episode, because it is in relation to the music, because it's interesting to me. But this is where we're going to differ, because PvP says Canadian football is different from American football, and I'm not much of a sports ball guy myself, but yes, Canadian football is different than American football, and that's because Canadian football is lame. The field is much bigger. There are only 3 downs instead of 4. I don't understand why they changed something from American football, and they're like, we want it to be Canadian, so we're going to make it a little bit easier. It's the CFL, and also the CFL doesn't pay as much. You know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in the CFL, and he had to sleep on a mattress in a dive. Canadian football is the worst. It's like leaving milk out in the summer. Anyway.
That sounds gross.
It is. It's gross. And it takes place in the winter, like hard winter, Canadian winter. Anyway, PvP says, a math whiz, a computer engineer, a sax player. Wow, I am totally impressed. Jill, as am I. We all are. Thank you for...
Well, you make it sound really good when you list it like that, but
See?
It's not that impressive. So you Canadians play football in the snow?
Yes. And then PvP says, I have to brush up on the Canadian game. I love Canadian football. It's a tougher game. No, it's not. I'm just going to be completely... Nope. PvP says, once again, Scotty, I strongly disagree. That's cool. I just find, the bigger field, the 3 downs, I find it to be an easier game, and I find that the enthusiasm around American football to be more interesting. Canadian football is kind of lame to me. So if you enjoy it, please continue to do so. I will not stop you.
Sam is obviously out of his element because he just slept, but he manages to make a pass, who makes the winning touchdown.
And I love this. It's such a big misdirected. It's like, well, you got the touchdown. So is that what I'm here for? Yep. Get ready to leap. And I was like, hang on a second. Maybe there's more. PvP says, American football is okay, but not as good. I do enjoy the Seahawks, though. Well, see, this is where we're back in agreement. If you like the Seahawks, I like the Cleveland Browns. So it's not like we like good American football teams.
And this particular scene gets reflected at the end of the episode with Ruben wanting to be paid for winning the bet because he gambles on children's sports games.
Yeah, but isn't that a thing, though? Like with college football, high school football?
Yeah.
It is a high gambling game, no matter what its incarnation, isn't it?
You're right. They do. It's a big thing that people do. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah. And this is where Sam is assaulted multiple times because what's the name of the team? I know that they roar. Bobcats? Jaguars roar. And so like over and over again, he just gets it's a ritual. It's good luck after they win a game.
Yeah, and Sam gets the brunt of it because he helped make the winning pass. Even though Al says, Sam, that pass was like a $10 hooker. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done.
Yeah. Which is an interesting analogy, but yeah. PvP says the BC Lions are my football team. They haven't won a Grey Cup in years, though. And PvP goes on to say, I love debating things with Scotty. Such fun to hear someone that is so often wrong. Often wrong soon is what they call me. And this is, Donald P. Belisario and Paul Brown. Not much by way of reflection reveals in this one. We got a lot of Linda, but we don't get much of this gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Eddie.
Sorry, I was going through to try and find. Oh, I guess yeah, the reflection they're not going to show. Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're playing football, but they're also playing for their future. They want to go to school. They want to go to school together. They're best friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Eddie and Chewie are sort of linked at the hip, and this is the coach.
He's so excited and happy, even though
He
this
is.
doesn't really look like it.
Well, no, because he's berating Eddie for or Sam for the ugliest pass that he has ever seen, but it won, so good for you, kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do we start
La
off with?
Bamba.
Did you? Oh, did you get La Bamba here?
No, I don't know if I got La Bamba. Where's La Bamba? Is this La Bamba?
No. Where do we go? The first one. This is Big Girls Don't Cry. It starts off with Big Girls Don't Cry.
No, I don't mean the song. I mean,
oh,
there's an exterior shot of the party. I don't know where it is or when it is where we see an actual shot from La Bamba in the episode, but I don't know which shot it is.
Oh, is it a football part?
No, it's at the party. Somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in one of the resources I have, it says there's a motorcycle and somebody from La Bamba's in it, and it's an actual little clip from the movie.
Well, and I did notice a little bit of sort of stock footage by the field with the cheerleaders and such, with the crowd scenes during a couple of the football games, and I was like, oh, that's obviously that's like a clip from something, but I didn't know that there was something at the party with La Bamba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. I just wish I would have did further study. Well, they go to an after game party where he meets Carla. She wants a cola, and he tries to twist it with his hand, but they haven't invented that yet. So he uses
kind of a joke that's lifted from Back to the Future Part 1 as well.
Mm-hmm. And also he asks her if she wants diet, but diet isn't introduced until 1982, and this is set in the 60s.
Yes.
62.
Yes, November 6th, 1962. Ah, yes. And so this is Eddie's dad, who is Manuel, who runs the food truck, and he is looking forward to opening a restaurant in the mall. Right?
Yes, but he has to save some money, and he's going to do that. But the kids are talking about getting recruited for college football so that they can get scholarships.
Well, and even then, Manuel says to Eddie, no time for girls until you get to medical school, right? Is it Eddie, or does he say it to Chewie?
He says it to Chewie, and Chewie says, why can't we do both?
Well, yeah. Sci-Fi Nation, ahoy! That is all. Thank you so much for the 2 bones, sir.
Hey, Sci-Fi Nation. That's great.
Thank you. That is so very generous. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir. And so, what is Al going on about?
Grapefruit.
Really? Or isn't he talking about? He's usually the one who shows up and starts talking about the food.
Oh, the food. There was something I missed here. So Sam is supposed to mess with the menudo, and he finds out that it's made of tripe, and he's like, never mind. Tripe and hominy. Because menudo is absolutely the most delicious way to eat tripe. And Al says it's made with hominy and grits, but I've never had it with grits. What the hell? But it's sometimes seasoned with onion and garlic and other seasonings, and I like it with cilantro, but I'll leave that off of yours since I know you don't like cilantro.
No, I'm starting to ease up on my cilantro distaste because it's a nice accenting to food. I just don't like it when it's overpowering.
No, but if it tastes like soap to you, it makes sense that you don't want to eat it. If you have that gene, I would be repulsed by it myself probably. But it doesn't taste like that to me.
I do have a certain tolerance for it. Sometimes I get, sometimes I just start complaining about food even though I haven't had it in a long time. And then when I have it, it's like, is there cilantro in this? And people are like, yes. And I'm like, oh, I guess I don't hate it. So
cool. Well, my great grandmother used to put cabbage in menudo. So So I was always disappointed when restaurants didn't do that too. But I guess it's not a common thing. It was just her thing.
Hey, Scogly's here. Hey, Scogly. It tastes like stomach bile to
Well,
me.
you know why? Is because it is made of stomach.
All right. Yeah. You know, I just have to have some good stuff. We'll see
It
if
is
the good
good.
stuff works. And PvP says medical school so he can play doctor. Then yes, perhaps that is the meaning of doing both. The girls and medical school. Why not?
And I did like that since this episode has a Mexican theme, we have Catholic imagery in the home with the Mother Mary here, Mother of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's good. They're getting into details. They did that with the last episode too, with lots of 80s stuff everywhere and just boxes in the garage and things just thrown around to make everything look more realistic.
Now, you can tell me whether or not this is insensitive, but is it a weird double feature if we had a Wookiee in the first episode and now we have a Chewie?
Yeah. No, that's not insensitive.
Okay.
Well, and Chewie is like a nickname for someone who is named Jesus. So it's just a nickname.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's like a nickname.
Have you ever seen the movie Fools Rush In?
No, but I imagine it's about Elvis.
No, it's not. It's about well, so Matthew Perry is, you know, a like super white guy who ends up from Friends, who ends up hooking up with Salma Hayek, and then Salma Hayek ends up getting pregnant, and so they get together through romantic comedy situations. But Salma Hayek's brother, in the movie, is named Chewie, and Matthew Perry, being Matthew Perry in the movie, or like the character, walks up and says, "Chewie, hi, Luke Skywalker, nice to meet you." It's like
yeah, you showed me a trailer of that. It was very 90s.
It is very 90s, absolutely. Yeah.
So they talk about the family, and I kind of glazed over it, so I just have the dialogue here. They say, "What about Chewie's mom? Celia never married," and
they do talk about the family like very much.
Yeah.
Is it Chewie's mom? Chewie's mom never remarried.
Well, no, she never married in general.
She never married at all.
Chewie thinks that his dad was killed in an accident in Mexico before he was born. And he was born in El Paso, Texas, after his mother got past the Rio Grande over the border in 3 days. So, yeah, she was pregnant to make sure that and she crossed the border to be sure that her kid was born to be an American citizen in El Paso, Texas.
And then she dies in childbirth, right?
But no. This is Celia.
No, but Celia is Chewie's mom.
Yes.
But it's Eddie's mom who.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Who crossed over the Rio Grande for 3 days, and then she ended up dying in childbirth.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure about. Okay, thank you.
PvP says cilantro sauce. Perhaps Jill would eat cilantro with cilantro and nothing else. Are you a fan? I think it was Eddie's, because that's why Manuel doesn't have a wife.
I have cilantro in my backyard. I grow some herbs, cilantro, basil, and parsley, and yeah, sometimes I take a piece to see it. So
you just eat cilantro like off of the vine or off the
plant, just whatever. Yeah, just see how it is before I use it to cook.
Okay, you're the doc. And so then also, PvP says romantic comedy situations. Yep, nothing says hilarious comedy like accidental pregnancy. Well, but again, because of the background of Salma Hayek's family in the film and having a Catholic background, she was intending to have the baby, and that brought the people together. You'd have to see the movie. I'll post a trailer somewhere somehow.
Yes, the trailer says everything you need to know about that movie.
And if you'd like to see the movie, it's just longer.
Chewie. So we find out from Ziggy that Chewie's going to throw the game and therefore not get the scholarship, not go to school. But Eddie is going to stay in the game, and he does get the scholarship and goes off to school. And this original future, and then this is the new timeline where we're going to do something different now.
Yeah. Well, and this is also, I like the way that this episode progresses, because the next thing Sam does, as Sam is wont to do, is he goes and he confronts Chewie about it right here.
Yes, he does.
Not even confronts, just says, I'm having some second thoughts, some feelings that maybe we're going to lose. You think we're going to lose? What do you think, Chewie?
And he says no.
Are you crazy? There's no way we can lose. We're going to rip off those Bobcat's tails.
Bulldog.
And then Sam's like, well, we can't do that. But
because
why?
Bulldogs
don't have tails.
Bulldogs don't have tails. Okay. It says.
They got like little nubbins.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. They got something.
Well, but I wouldn't. I don't think it's an apt analogy.
Well, it's like a little curly thing.
It's not a pig.
Oh, oops.
There we go.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let me see if I can do something here.
Okay.
Keep going.
So it's good to see these stories improving, how they're constructed. You actually have to watch these episodes to see how they're getting better. I don't know if it's just because they're both written by Star Trek writers, and I love Star Trek, even though neither of these episodes are anything like Star Trek. But I enjoyed these episodes a lot more, even though it is still a drama that is quasi sci-fi. I don't know. Maybe the creators are putting more work, more effort into it, and are figuring out exactly. So they're just finding their footing in some way, because they add more details and touches and things.
There's now a poll in the chat as to whether or not if you guys think bulldogs have tails.
Yes, they do.
Well, PvP says, I want to find out about cilantro. I need to ask Jill to elaborate someday.
I don't know what to elaborate about. It's just, kind of oniony and planty.
Sci-Fi Nation says fresh cilantro is intoxicating. Then it's added to a hot pan with oil in it. Sci-Fi Nation says a curly thing, referring to the bulldog tail. Like a pube? No, very different.
Yeah, no.
PvP says Jill could do a cilantro stream, perhaps.
Why? What's going on?
I think we have our answer, ladies and gentlemen. When the person requested to discuss the topic says, but why? And Sci-Fi says, yes, until humans cut them off. That is true. What do they call it? I know that they do that. Yes. And so, yes.
That's terrible.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't.
Docked? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Scogli. Bulldogs' tails get docked, but they still have a stump. Yes. I don't know why, though. Anyway, so Manuel is talking to...
But I'm going to call the ASPCA. I'm just kidding. Oh, right. Emmanuel is talking to Celia about how he wants to buy that restaurant.
Yes, and then she doesn't think that he should buy it because the restaurant was owned by a man who died recently, and you want to buy a dead man's restaurant? She's very
incensed. Is that the reasoning?
That's what seems like it. But Manuel's all like, we're just having like, this is a cooking stream at this point. But yeah, Manuel wants to get the restaurant because everything is stainless steel, from like the dishwashers, the counters, the oven. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
He'd like to have a real restaurant.
Yeah. And not just be going around in the food truck. But don't worry, that'll come back later. This is Chekhov's food truck. PvP says, LOL, it's fun to tease you, Jill. I'm not being serious. Well, maybe. It's all in fun. Cilantro fun. So yeah, and so now they're going, and I think now it's Celia's. Oh, did she get upset? I don't think so. I think she just runs
No,
off.
she's not upset. She has to go inside and make some tortas or something.
Yeah, they look. It looked like some sort of berry tart or tart.
Yes. Oh, tartletta.
Mm.
Tartletta. Yes. So just a tart.
And so, is this a situation where Al or is Sam getting caught for talking to Al?
Um,
I don't remember.
no, he
Okay.
doesn't get caught. No, he
Okay.
doesn't get caught here. But Al does say that the kind of data that says why Chewie throws the game is locked in the human heart.
Oh, right. And this is also the part where Al is scoffing at the thought that Sam or that Al had he still was a virgin at the age of 16.
Which is
And
a continuing theme from the last episode.
yes, but this is also somewhat, well, I don't even know if it's disturbing, but it's definitely to highlight that Al is quite the ladies' man, because he says that when he was 16, there were 3 women in the orphanage with him that he was working on at the same time.
I don't know if it was the same time. He didn't really explain what.
No, I don't mean like a menage. I just mean in terms of, going between rooms depending on the night of the week. He's a Lothario. He had many women on many sides, many fingers and many pies.
Yes.
Sci-fi says, imagine if humans were the pets and bulldogs doxed your manhood. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Rick and Morty episode about that.
Oh, right. What is it?
Oh, I don't remember it, but yeah.
No,
Snowball.
Snowball. That is not my name. That is my slave name. Sci-Fi Nation says Menage a Troy. Yes. Excellent episode from 3rd season of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes.
But here is this chuckle monkey. What's his name again? I hate this guy.
Well, yeah,
Ruben.
You're supposed to hate him. He's the bad guy in this episode. He's a slumlord Ruben. He's coming to harass her about the $800 she owes in rent.
Oh, wow. Heavens, when did this episode aired in 1990, and unfortunately the actor Fausto Barra, he passed away in 1994.
Yes, he does. It's true.
Were you familiar with him from anything else? It looks like it was mostly just television.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I didn't get a chance to cross-reference the actors. If we want to look at that, we can. Let's see. What was his name?
Fausto Barra. Faustobara. And he plays Ruben de Guerra. From 1952 to 1994.
He does voice acting for Five-O Goes West, An American Tale.
Ooh.
And he does other stuff, like you said, TV. I don't know if these are movies. I don't know. Eliminators.
No, these look all like TV
Renegades,
shows, yeah. Except for Five-O Goes West.
I kind of have heard of Remington Steele before. I don't know what that is.
That's got Pierce Brosnan in it.
And Kojak.
And yeah, he seems like he was in an episode of Kojak as well. It's too bad. Too bad. Sounds like he died young.
Yeah, he did.
But Celia is confronted by, and all of my disrespect goes towards the character and not the actor himself. But
yes, of course,
yeah,
of course. No, yes.
So
you
Ruben
hate Ruben, not the actor. This is the same thing like Kywin.
Exactly. But Ruben is saying that no, you don't rent. You just stay because you haven't paid me in a while.
Yeah, and not only does he steal a tartletta, but he also threatens her with sexual assault.
Well, transactional sex.
Yeah.
She starts to reciprocate, to be fair.
Well,
through
not
pressure.
Out of, yeah.
I'm not saying
not out of willingness.
Coercion through
Yes.
coercion, threat of eviction. It seems that she would, which is and ultimately it'll become part of the reason we haven't got there yet, the evolution of the episode. But yes, PvP says
that is the problem in both of these episodes. The criminals are not apprehended.
no, they aren't. But in this case, I don't know. Like Ruben's a greaseball, as PvP says. LOL, that guy looks like a real greaseball.
He is.
He has a great mustache to twirl. Yeah, absolutely. But he hasn't really done any crimes.
Yes, he has.
Like what?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that he's done this before, and he does this to other people, and I'm sure he's assaulted other people, and he also mentions later that he puts people in sweatshops, and he doesn't pay him the proper amount of money, or the sweatshops don't, and so he takes advantage of immigrants, and he's absolutely a criminal.
Okay,
it's no question. Sorry.
Well, just in terms of the era, like being 1964, he's obviously a greaseball, a manipulative force who is taking advantage of people's weaknesses and needs. Again, if it were 1995 or 2022, obviously, yes, this is, I'm going to call the police and take care of this. Or there would be some sort of, renters board or something you would be able to do. But that's also one of the things that is difficult because Celia herself is illegal. Yeah, and
that's right. That's why
an
she
undocumented.
Can't. And that's exactly why he preys on people like this,
yes.
Because they won't go after him. They can't.
PvP says Remington Steele was a kind of detective show. It's true. And another famous show I haven't seen. I remember watching a couple of episodes, but my Pierce Brosnan love mostly comes from James Bond movie. And PvP says taking advantage of a lady is despicable, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to do the Dudley Do-Right voice.
Oh, is that what that was?
That's what it was, an attempt at Dudley Do-Right.
That's cute.
Thank you. Oh, and Captain Finity in the chat. Ahoy, sir. One to beam down into the chat. Engage. Hello. Energize. Yes, it's good to have you here, bud. Check your Twitter. So anyway, this is all just Sam being like, Ruben, you're a dick. Leave these people alone.
But this is the first time that Sam confronts someone, speaking to them directly about why he was put here. Like, to like, not the first time. I don't know, like in an aggressive kind of manner. Like he does, he gives back what Ruben deserves, even though he doesn't really know Ruben yet.
True. Well, he does and you know what? This makes me look like an idiot because I am. Because even then, Ruben says to Chewie that the winning of the game that they're celebrating at this party made Ruben $1,000, and Sam is like, "But this is illegal. We can't bet on any of this." And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell anybody." So obviously, he's committing crimes.
The crime is getting inside information about how the players are doing in the locker room. Are they injured? Are they sick? And stuff like that to help him win his bets. And that's what is illegal. And Sam wants him to stay away from Ruben and Celia. And Ruben says, "I don't think I heard you, punk." And Sam says, "I'll write it down if you can read."
Yeah.
And it was delivered really well. It was amazing scene.
So we're back and this is just practice now for the football game, right?
Yeah, it's calisthenics.
Yes. The introduction of aerobic workouts
was not Jane Fonda. It was Sam Becket.
Yeah, but it wasn't very well received. Oh, and yeah, there we go. We get La Bamba.
Yes. And because we get the disc, they show the disc of La Bamba, I actually get to hear it.
Oh, and Sci-Fi Nation says Finity is requesting to beam up. Only one requirement for admission, and that is if you have seen the episodes, unfortunately. If you have, you're more than welcome, absolutely. If not, I can hold out until the end of the episode, and if Jill has time, you can pop up. But for the episode itself, we just kind of want to stay
I
on
agree with that.
task.
Well, yes, we're getting through the episode. The coach is not amused and makes Sam run 15 laps.
Oh, and Finity says am not. So there was just a crossing of the wires. Let's blame Ziggy or Gushy.
Gushy is a good scapegoat.
Gushy is a good scapegoat. So Sam is told to stop being such a Jane Fonda, take 15 laps, and then he gets busted talking to Al.
Yes, right here. Sam asks Al about Ruben, and Ziggy says he knows he's a slumlord and a gambler. That we already knew that. And it turns out that he's going to pay Chewie to throw the game, so he can win against. So Chewie's going to throw the game against the Bulldogs, and the scouts see it, and the universities do not recruit him for their schools. And then everybody notices Sam talking to Al. And Sam leaves.
Well, but then Al, yeah, which makes it.
Al leaves.
Al is like, you're on your own. Yeah, see you later. But yeah, the coach says take 15 for being a clown. And he's like, come on. It's like, you got 20 now. Get her done. And PvP says, Scotty, once I get watching these, I will hold you to that invitation. It is an invitation. And that is, as long as we're watching the episodes and you have seen and you wish to discuss, you're all are welcome. The only thing is the frame of reference, if you please. And so, yes, the big guy says, you think I look like Elvis? And Chewie is like, yeah, no. And so Chewie Chewie tries his best Elvis.
And he sings.
He does. And this is where Ruben shows up again and basically says, if you don't lose that game, I'm going to report your mother to immigration. And she owes me a lot of money. And you can. Actually, isn't it Chewie who gives him the idea? He says, didn't you make $1,000 off of me last night? Or on the last game? And it's like, yeah, and if you do it again,
yes,
there's no sure way to win. And it's like, nope, but you can lose.
Yes, exactly. And Sam sees that Ruben is not staying away. So he gets into a fight with him coming up pretty soon.
Yes. And Sam shows up and they start, it's quite a knockdown, drag out. Oh, yeah, the lockers are over. And you know what? This guy, the coach is a blowhard, but I like him. He's supportive of the team. And he's like, if this is for players only to Ruben. And it's like, I don't care who you are, but if I see you in here again, I'm going to bust your ass.
Yeah. And the actor is kind of neat too. He actually, speaking of people who have doctorates, like Sam Becket does, he has a doctorate. His name is Robert Benedetti. Benedetti?
Oh, yeah, Robert Benedetti.
He has a doctorate from Northwestern University. And he got some Emmys for TV for HBO. I haven't seen these. Miss Evers Boys and A Lesson Before Dying.
Oh, and he was in My Stepmother is an Alien and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. So he's had quite a career. What was his first? I wonder how far back it goes because he's an older gentleman. 1978.
Well, he does a
Bionic Woman.
Yeah, and he does a lot of stuff at schools, like the California Institute of Arts.
He was in an episode of Cheers.
And he's also a writer. He wrote a book called The Actor at Work.
Huh. Well, he's good at playing a coach. Oh, yeah, look at that. Come on.
Yes, right.
Face him down, protect the boys. But then he also gives the boys a little bit of crap, and it's like, what if you had busted your throwing hand, or what if you screwed up your depth perception by having your eye swollen shut because of that fight? If you guys do anything like that again, I would have suspended you already, but I need you tomorrow.
Right.
PvP says, Norm, mourn. True.
That is right. That is true. And so we're finally at the big game for Jaguars versus Bulldogs. The scouts are watching to see who's good enough for college football. And Ruben's there. He's cheering his alma mater, but betting against them at the same time, hoping that Chewy will throw the game. And it looks like he's going to here.
Yes. Well, and
It's a
this is
Jaguar.
this is actually a really cool the resolution to how it all plays out. I really like it. But yes, so Manuel is there, and he's dealing with the tacos and enchiladas, and really proud of his boys.
Yes, and Chewy pretends he gets hurt and he gets taken out of the game.
Yes.
And it's football. Football stuff happens.
And then there's football all over the place.
The coach is not happy, but Ruben is. The score is 9-14 in the Bulldogs' favor in the fourth quarter. But I haven't even gotten there yet. Lots of football stuff happens.
Oh, lots of football stuff. And this is what the original score would have been.
Yes, in the first timeline.
Yes.
I'll suggest that Sam take the bench too, because with only 23 seconds in the game, Eddie and Chewy, he believes that Eddie and Chewy need to stick together no matter what.
Right. But, and according to IMDb, because there is a thing where Al shows up and Sam says, where have you been? And Al says, I've been watching Super Bowl 30 and the Steelers are down by 3. Interestingly enough, and this is from the IMDb trivia, but I did want to check it. And
it's right.
It's accurate. In this episode, the show correctly predicts one of the contestants of Super Bowl 30. In a scene where Sam asks Al where he has been, Al says he was watching Super Bowl 30 and the Steelers were down by 3. This episode originally aired in January of 1990, and Super Bowl 30 was played 6 years later on January 28th, 1996. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to the Dallas Cowboys 27-17, and the Steelers were down by 3 twice in that game. So, time travel confirmed.
Yes, Ziggy predicted the real-life future 6 years before it happened.
Yeah.
Good job, Ziggy.
PvP says, so this is minor league football? It's huge in the States, isn't it? Well, this is high school, but yes.
Yes, high school. Right. Minor league, no. High school, yes. And so the actions,
Chewy's in shock. That Eddie isn't playing.
Yeah, that Eddie's benching himself. And so Chewy's inspired by this to get back in the game.
Well, and I do like how Al puts it, and Sam is like, so you want me to give up Eddie's future as well? And it's like, yeah, because then Chewy won't let you. And it's like, really? They're that close? And Al says, just like you and me.
Yes. And then it turns out there was a shove that happened, so there's a flag on the play, so they get an extra play or something.
Yes.
And this time Sam does a much better pass to win the game.
A perfect spiral from deep. And I guess Manuel just abandoned the food truck in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Oh, he does. No, he shows up and comes up to Celia and says, what's going on?
Well, yeah, I mean, so he wants to watch his kids.
Mm-hmm. So. And then the final score, the Jaguars roar 15-14 over the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. So Ruben loses his bet. And so this parallels the beginning of the episode where Ruben was collecting from the sky. Now the sky is collecting.
And PvP says, "Oh yes, a great spiral is awesome." It's true. I've never really been able to master it, but this is sort of everybody gets together at the end, and because Chewie didn't throw the game, Ruben is basically on the spot evicting Celia and Chewie.
Well, okay, but eviction is a lot better than the sexual assault or sweatshop stuff he was threatening earlier.
Well, I think that Celia is working in the sweatshop no matter what. It's not his sweatshop. He's just sort of hanging that over Chewie's head, saying that she is working at the sweatshop.
Then why did he even mention it?
Well, because she's not making enough money there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hey,
but
pardon me.
But okay, gotcha. I didn't catch that.
Well, because and what was it? They were. She's been doing. I think she got like a second job at another one, but she's been trying.
But they won't pay her very well for
right
those jobs.
Dalek 451 is here. Good morning, evening, all. Hi, Scotty and Jill. Hey, Dalek.
Hello, Dalek. So Manuel wants to pay what Celia owes, even though he's been saving that for the restaurant, and so we find out that they were friends, but now they want to be more than friends. I don't really know. Their relationship isn't very well explained at all in this episode.
I think that there is sort of something like I think that's they were sort of being coy and flirty at the after party of the sort of the last game, not the championship game.
Yes.
But then she goes to do the tortellas.
Yeah, the pastries.
That's it. And so when everything works out, and then Sam jumps in and says, "Fine, just put everything on our yard, and Chewie can sleep in my bed, and Celia can sleep with my dad." I thought was an interesting phrasing.
It was.
And then Manuel is like,
they had to have already been like really, really close friends.
Yes, I guess.
To make any sense.
Well, and also that it's funny though, because when Eddie says it or Sam says it, says Celia can sleep with my dad, and then Chewie's like, "You can't talk to my mom that way," and it's like, "I can if she's my mom," and it's like, oh, this is all resolving very, very quickly and very, very neatly.
Yeah. Nobody stops to think about it or anything. It's time to end the episode. We run out of time. It's done. No, but it's still very fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And there are sort of hanging plots that needed to be resolved for it. It's just
like something worse for Ruben than just getting a Jaguar knockback.
Well, something more than that. But then again, like at least if there is no comeuppance aside from the horrible beatdown that this must have resulted in, at the very least, Celia is out of harm's way now.
Yes, and she can get a better job becoming a U.S. citizen.
Well, and apparently, like her idea, because when Manuel says, "No, I won't buy the restaurant. I will pay whatever you need," and then she's like, "No, you can't do that. You want your restaurant," and he's like, what is he? He's like, "You don't even like that restaurant. Why would you want me to buy it?" And then she says, "Well, I think I like your restaurant. I think we should just get more food trucks." And then Al is like, "Please."
Yes. Oh, I'll be right back.
For sure. And so then he checks with Ziggy, and Ziggy says that, it's the food truck business between Manuel and Celia ends up being $1 million business. And they're getting married so that Celia will remain in the country. So everything is wrapped in a nice, neat bow. There's a freeze frame as Sam leaps. But the last thing that Al says to Sam is, "Just do it." And so Sam turns around and gives Ruben a good old fashioned Jaguar roar and punches him fists down on either of his shoulders as it ends. And then we get a flashback to a season, or not a flashback, but Sam leaps into Jesse, the black guy from the 50s who had the old lady to take care of in the first season. So we get another sort of flash to a leap that has already occurred, which let me just check this and see, because it would explain a lot. This episode was on January 17th, 1990. Following episode is on February 7th. So it seems that they would have taken a week off. And yeah, so that is typically what we've seen so far. Although this is the second time that they have shown the leap to a previous episode before. And PvP, we will find out. I will come back. I will highlight, but I did want to talk about some of the things you were talking about in the music before. PvP, showing off the pig skin. And Dalek says, sorry, I've not been around much. I've been taking a bit of a break from YouTube, or at least the live streaming part. Plus, I've been getting to bed early all this week. Good for you, man. You got to take care of yourself so that we can enjoy more of your company. If you're not around, then how are we supposed to do that? Hi, Dalek. Sleep is good, says PvP. Sometimes it's healthy to take a break. That is what I've heard. PvP says, so most of the series was a 90s show. I always thought perhaps it was 80s. It premiered in 89. And so, yeah, it is mostly a 90s show, but the same thing. I guess I think of Star Trek The Next Generation as being more of a 90s show than an 80s show, but there were obviously 2 seasons in the 80s. So where are we? Here we are. And PvP going back. Oh, and I did want to list off some of the songs that were in this episode, which only available. Well, maybe not only. I don't know which streaming service. I don't have Peacock. I'm in Canada. I don't know. So, but the only place that I would be able to get it, I think, is like on Amazon and Apple, but it's not available. So I got the discs as mentioned. And if you are planning on grabbing it, I got mine on Amazon.ca from Mill Creek Entertainment. I have the DVD box set, but it is available on Blu-ray as well. And the songs for All Americans is Big Girls Don't Cry by Frankie Valli.
Didn't have it.
Tequila.
Had it. Because everybody screams it. So they had to keep it.
They had to do it. Twist Again by Chubby Checker. Sleepwalk by Santo. The Stripper by David Rose, which is probably, I think that's a public domain song.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what that is enough to know that I heard it or not.
Okay, so this is how it goes as far as I can tell. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum,
I don't know. Probably it was there.
And then La Bamba.
And yes, I heard that. And of course, Chewie sings Heartbreak Hotel from Elvis Presley.
And yeah, Pleasant Valley Picker says, oh, well, a lot of shows get the music replaced to do the copyright thing. And I remember watching WKRP when it aired. Great rock songs. Then when they released the DVDs, they put on generic crap. Yeah, they did. And I think they may have put more of the original songs back on the more recent releases. Yeah, that from what I understand is what happened with the more the latest release of it. But I don't know if they have all of it, because even then in the 70s when they played WKRP, I don't think they would be able to get any Beatles songs, and I know they played Beatles songs on WKRP. PvP says, just wondering if Jill is a football fan.
No.
Not even proper English football? Says the captain.
No.
It's soccer.
Oh, yes. I do know that. I do know that proper English football is soccer.
Okay, I just wanted to annoy people by saying that.
Football.
Footy. And then Pleasant Valley Picker says, I meant American football, Captain. And Captain is fully aware, El Joko, or Jocko. And I have a feeling that Jill may not be a football fan. You anticipated correctly.
Oh, yeah, when I say football, stuff happens.
Yes. And then football, touchdown. And they all laugh. Captain Finity says, I'm drinking a margarita. Excellent. And PvP says, whiskey here, work week over and relaxing. Delightful.
Great.
Captain Finity says, Friday night here. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
And PvP says, I need to get a Blu-ray player. Hey, man, I highly recommend it. I'm a big fan, and if you can stream, that's good. But if you can be guaranteed that you can pop in the disc and watch it whenever you want, then you will be safe in the knowledge that you can watch, well, at the very least, Quantum Leap whenever you want.
Yes, as 4Ks get more popular, I think it is time to upgrade to Blu-ray.
And PvP says, cheers to you, Captain. Still a few more hours of Thursday here. And PvP says, laugh out loud. I guessed right about the footballs. And then PvP says, I'm getting to know Jill's likes, dislikes bit by bit. Such fun.
And also fun is that Sam has to leap into the color of truth again for the third time.
It's crazy.
This time travel has a lot of reruns.
Well, and the thing is, and I checked, because the first episode because Another Mother is the 10th of January, and then All Americans is the 17th. The next episode didn't air until February 7th. So there was obviously a week or two off in between.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And so that's why I would assume, because remember last time that they did that when they showed oh my stars, what was the name of the guy who does the chase?
Oh, right, Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Cam.
And the reason they did it that time is because they had planned on rerunning the Kamikaze episode. Yeah, the Kamikaze Kid episode the following week. So I think this is going to be a similar situation, which means they really wanted to showcase Color of Truth.
Yes, and whenever they're going to have a rerun, that's where Sam's going to leap into the reruns.
Yes. Well, and because he has, partial amnesia, he is doomed to repeat his past because he can't learn from it. Dalek451 says, was that the first or the second episode for tonight? That was the second one, Dalek, unfortunately. But yeah, actually, Dalek, I know that it is the middle of the night where you are, but we've kind of been making it a habit to pop the link to you before the show. Actually, it was Jill's idea this week. She was like, just send it. He'll come if he can. I was like, that's a good point. So the invitation is always extended. And PvP, we do 2 a week, just because we don't want to be, I don't want to say stuck doing this forever, but I think that it's more fun to be able to get through.
Well, it kind of felt like that with some of the poorer episodes, but I think things are starting to get better, and it's going to be less of thinking, man, we shouldn't have done this.
Well, and I guess we're about halfway through the second season, and we'll be done the second season in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was leaping ahead to find out whether or not we were going to see the top rated episode soon, and the answer is no, in about a month.
In a month. Okay, great.
And hopefully that happens before Star Trek Patrick Stewart.
Oh, it probably won't. Because that's coming up, and I'm dreading every moment we get closer and closer to Star Trek Patrick Stewart.
Would you like to tell the fine people in the audience what we're planning on doing with Star Trek Patrick Stewart?
Well, when Star Trek Patrick Stewart starts releasing episodes, instead of Quantum Leap, we'll be reviewing that until all 8 episodes of that series is out.
February 16th.
So after Valentine's Day. Okay. Great.
Let me see. So
Ooh.
1, 2, 3. You know what? I think. Yep. Wait. Yep. I'm pretty sure we are going to be able to finish this season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. We will finish this season before we get to season 3 of Jill's favorite television show starring LeVar Burton.
Da-dum-dum.
Was that an attempt at a bump?
Yes.
Okay.
For Reading Rainbow. We're going to review Reading Rainbow.
We are going to review the reboot of Reading Rainbow. Oh, right. Well, then I guess that is what's up? What's up?
Nothing.
What were you going to say?
I just had a fraction of a second where I was pretending that we were going to get a good Star Trek, and then it went away very quickly.
Oh, were you optimistic for a second there?
Yeah, just for a second.
Wow. Well, look on the plus side. At least we'll be talking about Star Trek.
No, we won't.
Well, we'll be talking about good Star Trek while we're watching whatever it is that they're doing, but we don't even know yet. We haven't seen it. We don't know what it's going to be like. I'm not going into this to hate it. I want it to be good. I've heard that it's good.
Well,
we'll find out. And
yes.
for Dalek says no. They usually do 2 episodes a week. PvP, and PvP. If you please feel free. If you found an online resource to be able to watch these episodes, next week we will be talking about Her Charm, and followed by Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So those will be the episodes for next week. I'm looking forward to those. And Jill, where can sorry, PvP. The next 2 are Her Charm. I did, but I'm going to repeat it just in case. Her Charm is the name of the next episode, season 2, episode 15. And episode 16, Freedom. Those are they. So Jill, where can people find you and your awesomeness on this net that is Inter?
Well, I'm on Twitter at Antiderivative1, but I'm also here at Antiderivative Jill is my channel name. And I talk about sci-fi. And right now I'm going through all of the original series Star Trek on Tuesdays at noon Central Time. And Friday I have a tea time show. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet tomorrow.
I'm leaving it completely up to you. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, I'll figure it out then. We'll
brainstorm after the show.
Great.
Cool. Well, then I guess that's everything. Thank you so much to Matt G and Sci-Fi Nation for your generous donations. Appreciate it. It is not required, but it is definitely thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you to Lemon Pie for being here. Edge of Time. Again, Sci-Fi Nation. Fantastic to see you. Same with Matt G. PvP, obviously. Thank you for being here, sir. And now that you know your homework for next week, you'll be more than welcome if you wish to join. Thank you again to Skogly for being here and describing. Skogly was here. Skogly was telling us what you do to a bulldog's tail.
Oh.
Yeah, and thank you again to Captain Infinity for being here in the chat. Dalek451, and to you as well, sir, if you do find yourself with insomnia and you'd like to come join and talk about Sam and Al, you are always welcome. But aside from that, I think we're done.
Yes.
Oh boy.